spreading the disease. Anyone who is infected would then spread it. What else?
Do you want some water?
No.
Misha?
Maybe I'm not sure, but maybe a person cannot get infected twice. 3 times or...
So you can be exposed to the virus multiple times, but if it's the same strain of virus, then you can usually only get sick from it once. Is every person going to have the same chance of passing on an infection?
No.
What types of people might be impacting more people with the same disease? What do you think? Lily?
People who communicate every day with more people. I mean, people who are on public jobs.
Public jobs, yeah. What's an example of that?
For example, like banker.
A baker, yeah. What else? Misha, what else did you hand up before?
Maybe a person working on the street.
Person working on the street.
Like doing such, not
Flyers.
flyers.
Okay, good.
Also, if you're, for example, a cook or a waiter, you can transmit the disease to the food, and this way other people get sick.
Yeah, like you saw with typhoid Mary here.
If you're a busker or a receptionist.
Yeah, good. And then last one, Pata.
Pilot.
Okay, a pilot on a plane with lots of people in this confined space. Very good. So these are things, what we talked about earlier, that you can, think about doing to protect yourself. You can wash your hands. You can use your tissues. You can quarantine yourself. But your body also has its own defenses. So this is what we're going to start talking about now. Your immune system defenses. So your immune system has basically 3 lines of defense. You can sort of think of it as the army. You have your front line, and then the middle line, and then, I don't know, your royalty in the back. All right. So, first line of defense. What is the very first outermost defense that you have? Where? Yeah, your skin. Exactly. Your skin, literally a physical barrier. But what about like your nose and your mouth? So those are openings into the inside of your body, but they're not covered over by skin. So how do you get protection there?
Wearing this mask.
Okay, so you can do something external like put a mask on. How does your body have its own protection even without doing that? Got it?
Maybe the mucus in the nose.
Yeah, the mucus, right? Mucus catching particles. What else? The cilia, good. And we're beating back and forth to push particles upwards. What about something happening through your digestive system? Is there a place in your digestive system where it might get destroyed? And just so you know, viruses and bacteria both have a lot of protein. Katsa?
The stomach.
Tell me why.
Because the stomach contains acids and different chemicals and pepsins that break down the protein.
Yeah, right, and then very, very acidic, so that can destroy the structure of a lot of these proteins. Good. All right. Let's say now that this pathogen makes it into the body. Now we reach our second line of defense. Oh, and by the way, this is a picture of cilia taken with a scanning electron microscope.
What?
These are cilia and the respiratory tract taken with a scanning electron microscope. This is where you guys are supposed to go.
Oh, I do.
Okay.
That's so scary.
So one aspect of the second line of defense is inflammation. So I had some inflammation going on a few days ago on my hands here. My cat Raja viciously attacked me. And I had a scratch, which was actually totally my fault because I was leaving her on. So, a few things happened. It got red, it was a little bit warm to touch, it was a little bit painful. This is the inflammation response. So, with inflammation response, you have pathogens entering the body. And in response to that, your body releases chemicals. And a really common type of chemical that's released are histamines. Have you guys heard of histamines before? Lots of drugs like anti-allergy medicines have antihistamines in them. Medications that will oppose the effect of histamines. So histamines, next feature. Histamines are chemicals that increase the flow of blood and fluids to an infected area. So histamine also stimulates the hypothalamus to make some other changes in the body. And one thing that happens is that the blood vessels dilate. They become wider. This makes them more permeable. So cells can get through them more easily. And so we have cells then moving from the bloodstream into the infected area. Do you guys know, or do you remember from talking about the blood, what type of blood cells function in the immune system? What type of blood cells function in the immune system? What? White blood cells, exactly. So we're going to talk in detail about different kinds of white blood cells next class. But so we see white blood cells, that's the WBC, moving from the blood to the infected area. Some of those white blood cells are called phagocytes. During our unit on cell membrane transport, we talked about phagocytosis. Does that ring any bells?
Can you repeat it?
Phagocytosis. Etty?
I think those were the blood vessels which became like scarlet cover over the one, but I'm not sure.
No? Nina?
So if we have something the cell wants to absorb, it just goes around it and
What goes around the object?
the body.
So part of the cell engulfs the object. What part of the cell would do that?
Cytoplasm.
The membrane. So the cell membrane literally wraps around some object to bring it inside of the cell. Remember we demonstrated this with a scarf. Okay, if you four would just kind of stand up, come to the front of the room. Not you guys. You guys stay.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone except for Galena, you guys are going to be a cell, so link up like a cell. So just make a circle. She's outside. She's a foreign particle.